Ugh. So tell me, you're in a high-level security apartment, and you're in an enclosed room that is also securely locked. How did you get murdered? ROBB, Fantasy and Death. Welcome to the D. Louise Book Series channel. I'm Christina, Kristina. Please hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. It's just me reading books. There's no special effects. I have no editing skills at all. There's no gonna be drop-ins. There's no buttons to pop or anything like that. But I would appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I'm very, very low tech here. Very low tech. I just read books and talk about books. And my channel is growing as slowly as a turtle walks, or maybe even slower than a turtle walks. But anyways, today we're talking about my favorite author, ROBB, and this is book 30 in the series, Fantasy and Death. In honor of the new one coming out next week, that was she talked about, Payback in Death. But Eve Dallas is a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. That's her sole focus. That's how she sees herself. And things are getting a little bit better. Things are getting better. She's been married almost 2 years now to Roarke. Mavis is her best friend, and she's also a pop star. Leonardo's her husband, and they have a daughter, Bella. Peabody is her partner and friend, and McNabb is her partner. Feeney is her trainer, and he's also captain of the EDD department, Electronic Division Department. McNabb is also a detective in the Electronic Division Department. Feeney is captain. And Trina, her hairdresser, who she's frightened to death of. Mira, the department shrink. Whitney is the boss. And you have to understand that Eve Dallas grew up in the foster system. So she never had any friends growing up. She never had a normal childhood. She was never given gifts. She was never put into social situations. So she's no clue how to deal with these social situations. So she's learning. Oh, and Nadine First is also becoming a really, really good friend. She has a television program. She used to be a reporter. Well, she's still a reporter. But she has a television program called News Now. What's happening now? Where crimes are happening now. She's also an author. So we get to see Nadine in this book. If Eve could have her food choice, she would probably live on pizza. 24/7. Pizza, pizza, pizza. This isn't like. So anyway, Bert Minnock, an up-and-coming game programmer. He owns the company, him and his 4 partners. 3 other partners, the core 4, or the 4 square, that's it, 4 square. And he's in his apartment, in a secured room in his apartment, which is locked, and he's murdered. And Eve Dallas has to figure out how that happened. So she also has really bad dreams about her childhood, but we'll get to that in later books. There's not too much of this. But her and one of the favorites of the fans is the repartee between Eve Dallas and Somerset. Somerset is the butler. He's kind of like Rourke's best friend, sort of, kind of. I guess he's more of Rourke's father type. He's not his real father, but he raised Roarke from childhood, and he taught him everything. And they're like this. They're family. They are family. And so Eve's had a bad day, and she's locked up two suspects that have nothing to do with the murder. But she found out that they were doing illegal stuff in the process of her investigation. And she comes home. One of the suspects had a butler that reminded her a lot of Somerset. So she comes in. I have good taste in all manner of things, especially wives. He lifted her hand to his lips as they walked up the steps and into the house. She gave Somerset a good long study as he stood exactly where she'd expected, like a harbinger of doom in the foyer with the chub of cat at his feet. I saw your evil twin today, she told him. Wait, you're the evil twin. I think he has the same tailor, too. I am Funeral. Well, that was clever, Roarke said, as he pinched the hand he'd just kissed. We'll be eating upstairs tonight, he told Somerset. Hardly breaking news. There's some very nice grilled swordfish if pair of you choose to eat like adults. Swordfish, Eve considered. Might be lucky considering you didn't have to pinch me, as she added as she continued up, and the cat, his mind very likely on food, raced ahead of him. I really did see his evil twin today. You can ask Peabody, of the droid variety, and it had one of those fake-sounding upper-class Brit accents. It was a ringer. I bet you could buy it cheap if you ever wanted to replace Dower with a droid. You're asking for another pinch. Probably a bad idea about the switch. As much as I hate to say it, I think the droid's worth. Did Somerset ever tell you not to drink too many fizzies because they are not really good for you? Probably. Roarke said as they turned into the bedroom. I want to change out of the suit. And while he was doing that, he taught you how to steal. I already knew how to steal. He taught me how to steal with a bit more finesse. Dinner, he said as she shed her own jacket. And if it's the swordfish, open a 57 laundry. It would be a nice compliment. No pointers, she told him, and she changed her boots for skids. Otherwise, it doesn't count in my columns. She strolled out, still wearing the weapon harness, which he assumed she'd forgotten she'd had on as much as part of the shallow dent in her chin. It's the marriage rules. He's got this whole thing on the marriage rules, but we'll get there. So that was just my little spin on that. But I forgot about the book. I was so excited about the Eve and Somerset thing. Benny Bart Minnock has three other partners, and they call themselves the Four Square. Sil, Benny, and Var. And Bart is not the only one that dies, and not the only one that's injured in this book. So Peabody McNabb got to go to a Comic-Con. It's just especially McNabb, they're solid computer game players, and this was just a dream thing, but they had to go and work. They couldn't play. And Peabody's like, well, what if we get a really good lead and have to stay in a hotel? And Eve's like, it better be a damn good lead, or it's coming out of your wallet. And they get a lot more on stage time. That's one of my authors, when characters appear in the book. I mean, there's a lot of times when stuff happens off stage. That's what she calls it, off stage, in the background, where they tell you, oh, this has happened. But when the characters get actual face time in the book, she calls it being on stage. And Peabody and McNabb get a lot of on stage time. So then Eve goes to see Feeney, and I love their repartee. Going from mirrors to EDD was something like leaving an elegant home where people engaged in quiet intellectual discussion and being flung into an amusement park run by teenagers on a sugar rush. Eve didn't suffer from culture shock. She was too used to it. Both her ears and eyes began to throb when she was still 10 feet outside the division. Come here, come here, come here. I don't want to be on camera. My baby. Where you going? Smile. Ah, those who walked and worked here favored colors and patterns that stunned the system and spoke in incomprehensible codes that jumbled in the mind like hieroglyphic tiles. No one stayed still in EDD. The TAC office's detective all pranced, paced, and prattled, paraded to some inner music that always seemed to be on maximum speed. Even those who sat at desks or cubes jiggled and wiggled, tapped and trilled. Feeney ran what Eve saw as a madhouse with a steady hand, even thrilled at being at the controls in his baggy pants and wrinkled shirt. He struck her as a sturdy, unpretentious island in a riotous sea. In his office, he stood in front of a screen, frowning, mused, normal as he moved blocks of numbers and letters. Those hieroglyphics again from location to location. You got a minute? Yeah, you took my boy. Since they were all his boys, regardless of gender, it took Eve a minute. McNabb, I asked you first. I hadn't had my coffee. You get these notions in the middle of the damn night. It puts me at a disadvantage. It was after 6 in the morning. Middle of the night when I didn't crash out until 2. Now I'm doing his work. She shoved her hands in her pockets. I asked first. She muttered, What is that? It's bits and pieces, and we got off what's left of the game disc, which isn't a hell of a lot. We've got it running through the computer, but I thought I'd try it the old-fashioned way. Any luck? Do I look lucky? I love Eve and Feeney. I really do. Take a break for a minute. Her fingers hit something in her pocket. She pulled it out. Look, I have a sucking candy. It's yours. He eyed it, then shrugged and took it. How long it been in there? It can't have been long. Somerset's always bitching about stuff I leave in my pockets. They're in my pocket, plus it's wrapped, isn't it? He unwrapped it, popped it in his mouth. I've got a couple of new angles I want to try, she began. I want another look at the Vic's house droid. She's clean. Yeah, I know, but 2 possibilities. 1, the killer programmed her and used her for the kill, then set her back to normal. 2, he shot her down and brought in a dupe for the kill. You're looking at a droid whacking the guy's head off? I'm looking at the possibility. We've got 2 divergent styles, and Mira agrees. Like I said, the droid didn't do it. I'll spoil that for you right now. But he was in a closed room. A locked, closed room, and he got his head cut off. I will refer to 2 charmed episodes where stuff happened in dreams. It's similar, but this is a game. This is a real life game, and this is happening in real life. And even Roarke get into it. But I know this is a little bit of a spoiler, but we talked about Nadine, and she's becoming a really, really good friend of Eve's. And she wrote her first book about Eve and the iCove agenda. Now, we did talk about that book way back when the doctors iCove were killed by the clones. Nadine has written a book, and it's coming out. And we're all excited about Nadine's book. And Eve is correct. She bitches about it from here on in, that she's never going to hear about the end of it, and she's not. Because up until this point, the public has called her Roarke's cop, even though she continually says she's New York City Police and Security's cop, not Roarke's. Now, that in addition to being the iCove cop, New York City Police and Security, Roarke's cop, excuse me, I'm getting muffed here. In addition to being Roarke's cop, she's now the iCove cop. She's got those two things, and she keeps going, no, I'm New York Security. And the public is not having that. She's either Roarke's cop or she's the iCove cop. Screw the rest. So, nice work if you can get it. She didn't bother opening her eyes. She already heard the click of the heels, the rhythm of them, and knew Dean First, Channel 5's ace on air, and the host of the wildly popular Now, stood in her doorway. I don't smell any donuts. It's the middle of the afternoon. I use cookies. She rattled the little box in her hand and saved you 3, and it wasn't easy. What kind of cookies? Mega chocolate chunk. And I would show you some chocolate chip cookies. Only I was just told a few minutes ago that my younger sibling ate them all 24 of them that I just baked yesterday. Okay, I'll let it go. It is his birthday. But Jesus, did he have to eat all 24? I didn't even get 2. Yeah, no, he ate them all. And I know you, I'm not giving you anything on the investigation. I'm here for that, though I'd never turn it down. She dropped the box on the desk. I had Bart Minnock on my show a couple of times. He was a sweet boy. I hope you roast the balls of his killer. Eve opened her eyes and looked into Dean's camera-ready face. Those clever green eyes meant business. Working on it. Nadine gestured to the murder board. So I see. Shit. Eve's boots hit the floor. That's off record. How long have we been friends? Not really all that long, she said, and made Nadine laugh. God, you're a hard ass, which is probably why you're my friend. I'm here to personally and in person remind you your presence is desired at my book launch party tomorrow night. She winged her eyebrows as Eve frowned. And no, I don't expect you to remember, but Rockwell. It hits day after tomorrow. The book does. She ran her fingers through her perfectly styled, streaky blonde hair, a sure sign of distress. God, I'm so nervous. No, make that terrified. Why? 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 What if it bombs? Why would it bomb? Well, Jesus, because it sucks. It doesn't suck. You made me read it. I mean, you asked me to read it, Eve amended, on the chance that there was a friendship rule about made me. For accuracy, since the iCove case was mine, which I did. It didn't suck, and it was accurate. Great, it didn't suck. Nadine tossed up her hands. Fabulous. I wonder if I can get them to put that as a PR quote. Lieutenant Eve Dallas says the book doesn't stop. When Peabody, oh, well, that would be a major spoiler. But we'll get to there. Great, it doesn't suck. Oh, I did that. Well, who cares? Oh, great, it doesn't suck. Nadine tossed up her hands. Fabulous. I wonder if I can get them to put that as a PR quote. Lieutenant Eve Dallas says the book doesn't suck. Do you need a written permission note? Gonna kill Eve, I swear. Nadine plopped down in a chair. Oh, make yourself the fuck at home. Can't you see I'm working on a murder here? Can't you see I'm having a breakdown here? Nadine snapped back and gave Eve pause. Okay, because it was rare to see Nadine so jittery, Eve rose and went to the auto shop. You can have coffee, pull yourself together, then you're out of here. Oh, thanks a bunch. Are you going to stand there and look at me? Whoa. Smoke. You smoke. Being watched. Smoke. Come here, smoke. Come here, smoke. She ain't moving. She not gonna move. She doesn't like to be on camera. Listen, I told you it was good when you made me shit. Asked me to read it. Eve pushed the coffee at Nadine. The review says it's good. Nadine blinked. You read the reviews? Maybe I saw one or two somewhere. The point is, you did a solid job. More than that, if it matters, I think you made it human and important and didn't sentimentalize it, if it's a word. Come here. Come here. Almost had her. You got it accurate, and that matters, and you made it real, and that's probably just as important. So stop being a big baby about it. I knew if I'd feel better if I came by here, you bitch. She grabbed Eve's hand. I really like you to be there tomorrow night, even if you can't stay long. I might need you to kick me in the ass again. Aww. What are friends for? Look, I'll try. I'll plan on it. But if something breaks on the case, remember who you're talking to. I know the priorities of the job. Anyway, if you're roasting the balls of whoever did this instead of kicking my ass and drinking champagne, I'll be fine with it. She sat another minute, finishing the coffee. Okay, all right. That should hold me for a couple of hours. Go bother somebody else if you need a booster shot. I do have other friends, you know. She glanced at the board again. Go get 'em, Dallas. And so Peabody and McNabb returned from the Comic-Con. They've had a really good time at the Comic-Con. She thought she understood at least partially the why. It was a small and it was shallow, but murder had been done for much, much less. Without Reneke's nose, a man's death might very well have been put down to the contents of his wallet and a veggie pizza. They'd be bigger under the small and deeper under the shallow, but it was enough for now. Enough to help her create her own scenario. I'm back! Did you miss me? Peabody bounced in, then flopped in the visitor's chair. Geez, do you know what the shuttle's like this time of day? It's a zoo, animal ferocity, and smells. Plus the air unit fizzled 20 minutes out of the station. Add jungle heat to that. I want a 2-hour shower. You had sex. What? 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 Why did you say that? You can't have sex on the shuttle. You die of heat prostration, then be arrested. You had sex before you got on the shuttle. There better not be an expense chip for some cheap by the hour flop on my desk tomorrow. We didn't use some cheap by the flop. We Peabody cleared her throat as Eve simply kept up the long, steady stare. Played games as ordered. I don't want to know what kind of games. Really, really good games. Ones that called for excellent reflexes and superior physical stamina. She grinned unrepentant. We're going to save up and buy new game system for each other for Christmas. What are you playing with? Is this your report? No. This is the shuttle boiled my brain babble through. What's on your tit? What the hell is that? Oh, Peabody ducked her chin to glance down. It's my love dragon. It's a temp. Are you gonna come over here? A love dragon, you're wearing a love dragon on your tit, most of which is spilling out of whatever it is that you're not covered up with. It's a look, and it works. Chew Hot nearly choked on his tongue when I walked through the bullpen. Peabody sighed. It's pretty satisfying. It may be you confused undercover with undercovered. Either way, I don't want to see your love dragon tomorrow. Now, if you've rested and recovered from your arduous assignment, I'd like that report. Sure. She gives her the report, and then she goes, oh, nearly forgot. Got you a present. Come here, 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 come here. Say hi. Hi. I don't want to be here. Come on. What? What? Goodbye. Ah. Oh, nearly forgot. We got you a present. Why? Because she unzipped one of her pants pockets and pulled out a very small gun. What is it? It's a toy gun, a Derringer, like card sharps and saloon girls carry in Western vids. It's like a clutch piece. And check it. Peabody cocked it, and a sultry female voice purred out of the barrel. Put those hands where I can see them, cowboy. It has all sorts of audio streams, male, female. I figured you'd want the female. Plus, she aimed at Eve, pulled the trigger, even as Eve said, hey! The little gun let out a brave little bang. No one goes lower, and you won't be poking a woman with that stick of yours for the rest of your miserable life. Isn't it cute? You could play saloon girl, and Roarke could be high stakes gambler. Then, and that's entirely never mind. Peabody offered a cute smile. I just love it. I just love it. It's so cute. Just another little, I can't resist these little quotes. I just can't. They're going through the games. Commander Black, StarQuest. This is a reproduction of his living quarters aboard the Intrepid. Peabody ran her hand over the scrolled arm of a brown sofa. It's even got the burn marks from when Black had the blaster fight with Voltar. And look, the old desk that was his great-grandfather's, the first commander of the Intrepid. He lives in a vid set? Vid and game. It's a really frosty set. It's even got detail, plus some that aren't. She gestured to a pair of white-worn socks, an open bag of soy chips, 2 empty brew bottles. Still tidier than the woman. Eve repeated the routine, going room by room, absorbing. Yeah, she thought. She could see why they were friends, though individual preferences came to the overall focused on the same. Fun, games, and fantasy. Like Bart, he kept a regular droid. Male, she noted. Name's Alfred, Feeney told her. Butler to Bruce Wayne, confidant of the Dark Knight. She spun around. What? The Dark Knight? Batman, kid. Even you heard of Batman. Yeah, vigilante with psychic tendencies who dresses up in a weird bat costume. Rich playboy by day, right? She turned, frowned at the droid. The Dark Knight's an icon. Feeney jabbed finger matched his tone. Insult. And he uses those so-called psycho tendencies for good. Anyway, old Alfred here has been shut down the last couple of days. And they go on with that. And one last... Oh, the book party. I don't... Nadine gives her the book, the Icove book. They're at the party. And Eve reads the dedication. It says, for Lieutenant Eve Dallas, courageous, relentless, insightful, who honors her badge every day as she stands for the living and the dead. So please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I'm just reading books, talking books. That's all I'm doing. I have no special effects. You can join me on Fridays for Star Trek, and you can join me nightly for one game of Boggle. Whoever gets the most unique words wins a shout out in my vids. But apparently no one's watching them, so okay. But if you watch my book videos and you're a subscriber, thank you very much. Please hit the like and subscribe. If you're not, please do it. Please. I need all the support I can get. It's just me reading books, talking books, nothing special. And I need all the help I can get. J.D. Robb, Fantasy and Death. How read along with Eve as she figures out how a guy was killed in a locked room. Thank you.